December of 24, he literally directed the engineers. He's like, anyone associated with Laura Loomer is dead to me. And he like decheckmarked her, demonetized her, and everyone in the affiliate organization she was a part of. So he very much does that, but it's only for personal beefs. The other data is more valuable because you can do a lot with the data on your enemies, like what you want to do there. The data on revolutions is really, really valuable. Like, why do you think, okay, I'll deploy Starlink where there's fucking revolutions. That's awesome. Now I have all the data on revolutions.
This is something that I've heard from other people who are also in the AI space as well. Like trying to understand or trying to log behavior is one of the things that they focus on quite a bit. Yanis Varoufakis and I talked about this as well. We were at a tech summit where we were around like some very powerful people, and they were just openly, leaking this.
It's the final terrain of extraction. Like, this is what broke my brain. I was like, oh, they don't have labor anymore, really. They're just going to extract like our consciousness and our soul. Like, it is like the death stage of capitalism to the point that like it might be the end of all of us.
They're looking for like their behavior. They're mapping out behavior patterns. This is 100% real. They're also looking at the way, like in chaotic situations, like in Gaza, for example, during this genocide, a lot of those surveillance companies and a lot of AI companies were logging data on what happens when a bomb explodes or when a civilian area is targeted. And they're mapping out like ambulance routes and taking that data and potentially selling it to hospitals for crisis management in the United States of America. They look at that data as unbelievably valuable information.
So ask yourself why the guy who is tweeting anti-Semitic shit all day, every day, like says Jews are no friends of the Anglos because they believe in race mixing. He reposted that, Elon. Why he's still speaking in Israel and is friends with Israel.
Well, because Israel doesn't give a shit about
because it's the technology.
Yeah, and also I think Israel benefits
they
from
will performatively care about anti-Semitism. If there was any other big figure who they were not benefiting from their technology, 100%, they'd be like, Jonathan Greenblatt, get him. Like, right away.
Jonathan Greenblatt never talks about Elon Musk and has defended his Sig Heil, which, by the way, that was a Sig Heil, right?
We were not on great terms then.
I know, but like, you were intimately familiar with Elon Musk. I suspect that there is like, what I say about Donald Trump is like, he's not an ideological fascist. I don't say about Elon. I think Elon Musk has a very clear worldview. I can't fully understand it, but it's some kind of esoteric fascist.
It's very eugenics based.
Technocracy.
And I did not realize that until like much later, unfortunately. But there was, like, especially when I was pregnant, there were things that he would say that like would take me aback, that I was like, wait, like, is this a race thing? Because you know,
he's South African.
Yeah,
white South Africans are either the most base people you've ever met or some of the most.
I was incredibly ignorant to a lot of those histories and things of that nature, but he would say things that I was like, oh, like this, it's about race for you. Like, this is It's so stupid too. Like they pour endless amounts of time, energy, and effort into like scientific racism that is discarded. Junk science.
Debunked for good reason, not because like for woke reasons. Debunked because it's just like is objectively not correct, and yet they just still go back to that, and it's cope. But I understand why.
Because he would be like, oh, Grok is more base now. Like, ask it about IQ and all this stuff. Like, raise IQ. And he like had me asking Grok this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
So, like, I mean, how can you have this much? How can you command this much power over the entire planet and also be this childlike, like this silly at the same time? I don't understand it.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what has to happen in your life that you get like stuck developmentally at that age, but that's it.
You don't know what like Elon Musk may or may not have done as far as like tampering with the 2024 election, which I don't believe that stuff anyway.
All I know is what he told me, what his engineers told me, the things that were incredibly concerning to me about, and like, I hope someone who can do more about this reaches out so that I can discuss those things more freely, because I'm not going to dox those engineers. Like, I'm just not. I don't want them to be in danger. The things that happened with Doge that the engineers told me was concerning as well. Like people within his companies who were not special government employees who had this information.
Yeah, and there's been a lot
working on it.
of revelations on that stuff on that front too, like data that was exchanging ownership into private hands, and we don't know what he was doing with that data as well.
Why was he interviewing the NASA administrator? He texted me and said, I'm interviewing the NASA administrator at Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah, but why?
Because he's a private contractor that wants to...
That's so not okay. Why was he interviewing these admin picks? Like, that's...
No, that I do understand. I can... That actually makes a lot more sense than all this other stuff, because he's like the space guy. Trump obviously trusts him on the space issue, and the American government is literally a money faucet for private interests, and he obviously is one of the major SpaceX is the company, right, for space exploration and whatnot. So from Trump's perspective, that makes total sense. I do understand that. I wonder...
That's exactly why he shouldn't be doing it.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's ethical. I don't think it's right. I want NASA to be a publicly funded institution. I don't want there to be piecemeal private enterprise that like take over that responsibility. They're saying let her talk. I'm being misogynistic. Go on. What else?
Nothing's worse than the napkin comment. So.
All right. Well, I apologize for it. Well, it wasn't a napkin. It was a mail. Like I thought he
mailed in a napkin. Okay.
Okay. Well, which is it worse? Which one's worse, having sex with Elon Musk or artificial insemination?
You know what's worse is you reading my text.
Yeah, that was worse. Actually, that was far worse than the napkin comment. But I apologize. I apologize for that. All right. Last thing. Going back to you. What is what was the turning point for you?
I get this question a lot. It was cumulatively, and then there was a moment that was like, oh, I have to choose if I want to be a good person. So like cumulatively, I saw so many things that I was uncomfortable with, but because like the infrastructure of a cult is that everything in your life is around it, like your finances, your social community, everything. So changing your political beliefs is blowing up your entire life. It wasn't just like, oh, I believe something different. I'm punching like the most powerful people in the world in the face. But when I was offered the NDA and $40 million, I had to sit there and say, what do I believe? Like, do I want to trade being materially comfortable for like doing what's right? And so that was a choice that I had to make, like then. But if I hadn't had the experiences cumulatively of like seeing the things that I did, I don't know that I would have come to the decision. But it's really hard to leave a situation like that. And I feel so much regret for being a part of that rhetoric. And like, I read some of the old things and I'm like, I feel like I feel so dissociated from it because I feel like it was just so nasty and I contributed to so much harm. But I'm just happy to be out and to like consume real information and real books and like be around real people in my life again, instead of like just MAGA people. Like that was my whole life was MAGA for like since I was a teenager. And so then I'm out, and I'd rather that over the private planes any day.
Okay. So. Ashley St. Clair, everybody, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course.
This was great.
Enjoy the pastries. They're actually really good.
I hope I wasn't too ruthless to you, with the exception of that one comment. You cooked yourself with the memes.
You weren't supposed to scroll. I mean, so invasive.
Yeah, I know.
Do gaming. I game. I do game a little.
Yeah, I don't. They always yell at me for it. I used to, but I don't have time anymore.
We'll do Fortnite Friday with Connor.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That was a journey. That was interesting. What did you guys think? You forgot her mic? She's still wearing it? No.